611 na po ang mga bagong kaso ng COVID-19. Naging 6,710 po ang total cases. 39 patients ang na-recover po ngayon. At naging 698 na po ang total recoveries. Close to 700 na po siya. Ang kaso nga po, may namatay pa po na siyam. 446 ang total na namatay po dahil sa COVID-19. Nakikiamay po ako mismo sa mga pamilya at kaibigan po na namatay.
Salamat sa update, Paul. So, hindi na tayong mga kasama natin. Aba, si Rally dumating. Hi, Rally. Sino ka to? Eugene, Francis, Rally, Mathematics. Rally, kamusta sa Rizal?
Hindi ko alam. Kumusta? Hindi ako lumalabas ng bahay.
Kumusta nanay mo?
Medyo...
Okay naman po.
Yung mother ko medyo ganun pa rin. Walang malala. Actually, nakaka-stress. Pero, okay pa kami.
Okay, reminder for everyone. We're being streamed on YouTube. So, baka may ibang conversations tayo na hindi gustong ipaalam sa buong mundo. We can continue with that privately.
Kanina nga po sa humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, medyo nakaka-disappoint po. Nakakainis po yung tipong nimapa po ng isang mapper tapos sa validation pala po marami pong kulang na buildings po. Ang ginawa ko po, inayos ko po ang mga roadways na pawang surface road po, which is close po to the, what you call this, Ayala Malls Cloverleaf po. Then, ang nangyari po, final decision po is to invalidate dahil sa dami po na kulang na buildings po. Kaso nga po, paano po may mapa ng mayos kung ang tawag po dyan? Sa sobrang dami na kailangang may mapa po. Tapos, ang time limit nga po is 2 hours. Should it be like split po ang task?
Pwede mo hatiin ang isang grid into smaller grids para matapos mo yon within the 2-hour limit. Kung masyadong malaki or ang experience mo ay pamahaba, pwede mong liitan yun para magawa mo within the time period na expected matapos mo yung task. So I think that's something that organizers should remind their participants. Tapos sa bracket, sorry.
Okay, it's 7:30 na. So welcome everybody to our fifth Wednesday's Mapa Time session. Fifth na to, di ba?
Fifth, yes.
Yes. Okay, sige. Share ko lang muna ito. Screen ko.
Yeah, I'll stop my screen. Sorry.
Okay. Nakikita niyo naman tong screen.
Yep, mabuhay.
Hello, mabuhay. Welcome to our 5th Wednesday's Mapa Time session. So, as you all know, every Wednesday, we're doing this Mapa Time session wherein we teach people how to map or contribute to OpenStreetMap, as well as using various tools and many different mapping topics. For example, last week we did a topic on drone mapping sa Lupang Arena. So this week we'll be doing mapping related to Bukás pa rin na mapa. So I'll hand over the reins to Erwin later to talk about it. So this presentation is online. So yung link na post na ni Erwin doon sa chat ng 8x8 or Jitsi if you want to follow along. And as mentioned by Erwin earlier, this channel is recorded and live streamed to YouTube. So basically, by choosing to stay in this interactive channel, you allow us to broadcast, record, or reshare your public interactions, including yung audio, yung text chats sa chat log, screen shares, at kung ano pa during the session. And disclaimer, all information and content are provided as is and without warranties of any kind. So that means that you should guard your privacy. If you enable your camera or screen sharing, take the necessary precautions to safeguard your private and personal information. Don't share too much or do not share anything if you do not want it to be widely available, because after the YouTube is streamed, it will be available for anyone to watch at a later time. So as usual, we have our code of conduct. So we want our DS information to be exchanged most effectively in an atmosphere free of abuse or harassment and characterized by courtesy and respect. To that end, the Mapa Time organizers expect all attendees to conduct themselves in a manner that establishes an atmosphere free from discriminatory practices. So the full text is here. So I'll post the link to the code of conduct on the chat log. So if you experience any harassment or whatever, you can send a private direct message to me in the chat box or via Telegram. Okay, hindi dapat sila ito. Or you can contact me at on Telegram. Or you can send an email to osm.pilipinas+coc@gmail.com. So before we start, participants are expected to use a computer and should have an OpenStreetMap account already. So kung wala pa kayong OSM account, just go to osm.org/new to sign up for a new account. So does anybody still need to create an account?
For the basic, Eugene, excuse me. For the basic session, it's not necessary to have an OSM account.
For this session, not necessary?
Yeah.
Okay, sige. Okay, so for this this week, we will our hashtag is PH. In Tagalog, that translates to Bukas pa rin. Note bukas, hindi bukas. So basically, this is a tool developed by OpenStreetMap France to basically indicate which establishments, shops, or amenities are still open during this season of pandemic lockdown. So the website, you can go to karesteovert.fr or is.gd/bukasparin. And later on, you can follow the presentation deck using this link, post ni Erwin later. So when you join the channel, mics are by default turned off to minimize background noise. And if you want to talk, just use the space bar to talk or toggle the mic button at the bottom if you wish to speak longer. To activate chat mode, if you wish to write a message instead. Yeah, we would prefer if you put your questions or messages on the chat mode in order to minimize noise and disruption. There will be time in the session for you to ask questions if you want to talk about it. So here's a very short overview of our teleconferencing interface. So most of the buttons are at the bottom. So you can share your screen, raise your hand, open the chat box at the bottom left. Then sa middle bottom, nandiyan yung controls for muting the audio or turning on and off your camera. Then other tools and options are on the lower right. Then throughout the session, if you need help or have questions or wish to share something to your group, just write on the chat box or use your microphone. And you can also share your screen to the whole group at certain times. Are there any questions so far?
Nothing.
Okay. So for this session, our program will be basically I'm doing the introduction or opening session opening. Then we will have around 30 minutes wherein Erwin will give a webinar on how to use the Carest Overt map. And then we'll do a 25-minute session for us to be able to use and contribute to OpenStreetMap using this tool. And then there will be another webinar from Erwin using N8R, notes review, and then a Q&A wrap-up. So hopefully we'll be finished by 9 p.m. So for our tasks for tonight, as mentioned before, we'll be using the Carest Overt map. So these are the links for you to be able to use the tools. And okay. So I'll now hand over the mic to Erwin to start the webinar for the Carest Overt map.
Okay, thank you, Eugene. Hindi ko abot yung mic, so gagamitin ko na yung sarili kong mic. Let me just prepare my screen. Okay, magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Nakikita nyo ba yung opening screen, page yung screen ko?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ako si Erwin, isang contributor sa OpenStreetMap, at ngayong gabi, gusto ko mag-introduce ng isang tool na dinevelop ng community sa France, ng OpenStreetMap community sa France, kasama na iba pa nilang collaborators in that country. Kung gusto ninyong sumunod sa slide, pwede nyo makita dito sa URL na nandiyan sa screen nyo. Pero basically, most of the portions of our webinar will be done online and hands-on. So I expect everyone to have or will be using their own computers. I hope everyone is ready because we'll start now. So, sa rest vert, may nagsasalita ba ng Pranses dito? Katulad na sinabi ni Jean, ang ibig sabihin ito ay bukas pa rin sa Filipino. Bukas, hindi bukas, kaya meron tayong tamang pananda over the letter A. Objective ng paggamit ng o pagde-develop ng tool na ito ay para mainganyo ang mga baguhan, lalo na yung walang OpenStreetMap experience, na makapag-contribute ng kanilang kaalaman sa OSM. So, binababa natin yung technical requirement para sa isang contributor para ma-improve yung mapa ng OpenStreetMap. As mentioned, this started in France. There are other countries in Europe that's using it. And outside of Europe, some countries in Africa, and I think right now just the Philippines in Asia. So if you let me see. If you try the URL that was shown by Eugene earlier, this is how the map will look like when you start. And this is how the screen will look like when it's zoomed in. So pinapakita ko muna yung preview of the screens that we're going to encounter in the next several minutes. Bago ko tumuloy sa actual hands-on natin. As soon as you zoom in into a map, you will view or you will find the POIs that are filtered from OpenStreetMap and displayed on screen. So kanina, nung medyo malayo yung ating mapa, wala tayong nakikita ang mga detalye. Pero as soon as you zoom in into a particular neighborhood or section of your city, these POIs will be visible. There are also mobile apps that are available on Android and iOS. The instructions that I will be giving today will be the same instructions or the same techniques you will be using for any tools, mobile tools that you might opt to install on your computer, mobile phones. So pareho lang yan. Okay, hindi ko naayos yung deck ko. So, paano ba makakapag-contribute sa REST-Alert? So, para hindi tayo mahirapan sa process, tatawagin ko na lang itong CRO throughout our webinar or bukas pa rin. So, I will be referring to the same thing when I say CRO or bukas pa rin. For non-OpenStreetMap users, you can submit the information in just 4 steps. And it doesn't require an OpenStreetMap account. For users who have some experience in OpenStreetMap, of course, you can edit OSM directly. But your contribution to the map is more about reviewing some of the notes or edits made by the app on OpenStreetMap. So we'll go through the whole process throughout the webinar. So I suggest that you open the website now. Please go to sarestvert.fr or is.gd/bukasparin so that we can use the app. Okay, so first thing you see on the map is that you're given an option to install the mobile apps. We don't need that for now. And then there are questions about the cookies they want to use while the session is online. So we'll just say yes. The language, of course, is currently in French. So what you want to do is on the left side panel of your screen, the last option is the option for changing the language. So we'll click on that, change language, and then select the language preferred to use. Since we're distributing this video online, I'll be using the English interface so that other people can benefit from the video later. Okay, so this is how it looks like with the English language online. Are there any questions? Okay, no questions so far. Okay, so one of the first disclaimers you'll find is that they are reminding you that your safety is your responsibility. So yan yung una nyo makikita dito sa left panel of your screen. So yung orange portion na yan is a reminder for you. Okay. On the left panel of your screen, you will see a list of categories that are available or that are usually available in OpenStreetMap. Of course, this is a limited set of categories that's normally there's more in OSM. But for the purpose of the lockdown, these categories are the ones that are just available. So from amenity or mga services na we usually use down to other places in OpenStreetMap. So all of those are options for you to, when you want to limit the amount of POIs you want to see on the screen. So sa screenshot na nasa screen natin, ito yung mga POIs na makikita. So magde-demonstrate ako ngayon sa mapa. You can zoom in to your favorite neighborhood manually. So double click on an area, or you can use the search box. So let's say Ortiga Center in NCR. As soon as you zoom in a particular area, I request please, kung you're not using your mic, could you just disable it para mas comfortable para sa mga nakikinig natin sa atin. Thank you. Okay, now on our map, as soon as you zoom in a particular neighborhood, you will see limited number of POIs. So you will see several colors there, primarily green, red, and gray. All those with POIs with green circles around them are establishments that are reported to be open during the lockdown. Those in red are POIs that are considered or reported as closed. Any feature you find on the map, including the gray ones, yung walang additional information, are something that you can change. So kahit sabihin natin, for example, na in general, all cafes are closed. If you know personally that in your neighborhood, your favorite coffee shop is actually open or offers a limited set of service available, you can change that information. So, ang una nating gagawin ay, base sa nakikita natin sa mapa, ay magkiklik lang tayo ng isang POI. So, for example, I'll click on Starbucks, which is currently has a red circle around it. So, pag nakita ninyo, yung pulang circle, ang ibig sabihin yan, this has been reported closed. But if you want to change that information, you can click on the Report a Change button, and you can update the information based on your personal knowledge. Just like any system, of course, this is open to abuse. Anyone can actually say or claim that this particular establishment is open or not. But as it's typical with OpenStreetMap and many other OSM communities, users are trusted that they will make the best decisions of to report factual information instead of vandalizing it. But even if that is just an assumption, we know that there's a possibility that these features could be abused by some people. But anyway, we'll just make the assumption that everyone has the good intention of making accurate information available to other users. So for example, Starbucks is actually open. You can report this place as yes, so instead of no. And then given, for example, you know the actual opening hours for Starbucks, you can add the schedule here. So lalabas, you will have options on specifying the days of the week that the establishment is open. If you toggle this button, you can automatically enable all these days from Monday to Saturday, or manually select days that are applicable for that establishment. And then if you click on next, you will be given an interface for entering the time, yung oras na bukas establishment. So for example, the establishment is open from 10 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're using the 24-hour format. So 5 o'clock in the afternoon is 1700 hours. And then you click on next. Okay. There's an additional option you will see where it's asking you whether this schedule you just entered is the same schedule that the establishment is using during normal times before the pandemic. If that is the case, you can enable the checkbox. But if it's not, which is typically what you will do these days, you remove the checkbox and then click on continue. And then there are 3 other information that you can provide with or without the opening hours information. First, would the establishment offer delivery? So you can report it as yes, no, or I don't know. Does the establishment offer takeaways or takeouts? So yes, no, I don't know. Considered na takeaways sa Pilipinas are orders made through Grab, what you call this? Grab food or ano ba yung mga services? Panda, what's the name of that establishment service? So yung mga third-party delivery services, kung ino-offer nila yung establishment na yan, they will fall under takeaways. Ibig sabihin, pwede i-take out yung in-order ninyo. And then, the third option is whether the customers or the public is allowed to stay inside the establishment. So there are certain establishments, for example, in my neighborhood that are open but don't allow dine-in customers. If that is the case, I will just say no. If the public or customers are not allowed in. If you don't have the information, then you can simply select I don't know, depending on your situation. And then if there are additional information that you want to add to a particular establishment, you can add it in this text box. So let's, for example, if they provide contact information like telephone numbers or email addresses or other ways to contact them, you can add that information in this box. So for example, for example, just for this establishment, they allow takeaways, but call kunyari 0917-123-456-789. Call self to order before pickup. And then you will click on, when you're happy with the information you provided, you can click on the publish button. Anytime before you hit the publish button, you can go back to any of the other details and you can change that. Okay. And since this is only an example, I'm not going to click the publish button, but instead I'll click on cancel. Okay. So I'll actually go to my neighborhood. Um, okay. Looks like we have a bug. I am unable to search anything. One city, metro, Manila. Okay. Interesting. Through the chat box, please report if you're having the same problem. So right now, what I will do is manually go to my neighborhood by using the mouse. Okay. So for example, the last time I was out in my neighborhood, I know that this tea place, it's called, I think, Share a Tea, is not open during the lockdown. So after selecting the POI I'm interested in, I will click on report a change. And then I will say no. And then I don't have additional information. So I can click on publish. Okay. As soon as you hit the publish button, your report will be made available on the map. There are two possibilities. Either sa Restovert or CRO, they have their own OpenStreetMap account. They will update the POI directly. Or if you don't have enough information added on the for that particular POI, it will leave a note on OpenStreetMap. So, are there any questions so far?
None.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, so wala. Kung walang tanong sa ngayon, I suggest that you go to your neighborhood, visit of course, you want to go to a neighborhood you're familiar with, either because you're from that area or you work in that area. As long as you are familiar, we want to use our local knowledge for adding information on the map. So gawin natin ngayon for the next 10 or 15 minutes is to use the CRO for updating the POIs in our neighborhood based on personal knowledge. Kung lumabas kayo recently at alam niyo bukas o hindi available o whatever, ano man status ng POI, let's use the app, CRO, to report it. And then afterwards, when we're done with mapping, we're going to review either the notes or the actual edits made by the app on OpenStreetMap to see how it's like from the back end. Okay, is everyone okay with that? Okay, silence means yes. So I'll start my timer here for the next about 10 minutes. 10 or 15 minutes. Basta 10 minutes muna.
Sir, question.
Yes, go ahead.
So dito yung i-map namin dito is yung places na alam pa namin. So dapat nasa OSM na siya, right, sir?
Hindi lahat ng nasa OpenStreetMap ay nasa CRO. These are pre-filtered. So for example, you'll notice na there are no ATMs because there is assumption that these features are all open already, doesn't need. Pero nireport ko nga yun as a bug. Kasi for example, there are non-operational ATMs. na kailangan pa. So either the POIs are already on OpenStreetMap, yung dito naka-filter, or kulang pa. Kung halimbawang kulang, merong option dito sa kaliwang portion ng ating screen, yung report a missing shop. If you click on that, it will open a blog post giving you instructions on how to add them. So for that particular operation, you will need an OpenStreetMap account. So kunyari, hinanap mo yung favorite or yung neighborhood pharmacy ninyo at wala pa siya. To add it to the map, you will have to register for an OSM account, and the instructions here will teach you how to do that. Okay?
Okay.
So kung ano yung nakikita natin ngayon sa mapa, yun ay based lang dun sa pre-filter natin. We're not saying this is accurate. If you encounter issues, like for example, you know that certain categories should be added, dahil unique yun sa Pilipinas, unique yun sa situation natin dito, feel free to report it directly to the CRO repository. So remind me, I will post the link to the repository on GitHub later. Did that answer your question?
Yes po. Thank you po.
Okay. So dito, for example, sa neighborhood na to, I know that BPI is not operating their branch. So I'll click on no. And then click on publish. Ministop is open. Yes. Hindi ako sure kung 24 hours si Ministop. So I'll click on I don't know. And then they don't offer delivery. I'm not sure if they offer takeaway, kung pwede kayong umorder sa third parties. The public can enter. And then that's it. Click on public. Yeah. This bakery is open, but they did not publish their opening hours. They don't offer delivery. They allow takeaways, and the public is not allowed to enter the establishment. Okay, so the process of adding data through CRO is a bit different from from the usual if you're using OpenStreetMap. The interface is available to anyone even without an OpenStreetMap account. Yung mga notes are made under the name of the app, yung sa RESTwork_visitor, which is something that we will check later. Okay, this laundry shop is not open. So report the change. No, I don't know the opening hours. So are there volunteers who'd like to share their screen while they are trying to add information on the map? Gusto niyo bang mag-share ng screen niyo for the rest of the participants of the session to see?
Question.
Yes, Eugene.
Parang kulang yata ng isa pang field kung available ba yung drive-thru or hindi. Or assume na yun na take away rin siya.
Hindi, iba yung drive-thru. I don't remember that discussion coming up. But in the meantime, if a drive-thru service is available, that is separate from takeaway. Kahit dun sa normal na OpenStreetMap na categorization or tags.
Mm-hmm.
So for now, you can add that information through the text field.
Okay.
Pero I suggest that you also report a ticket or file a ticket in their repo I-post ko ngayon yung URL. So is there anyone who'd like to demonstrate, show their screen while they're adding?
Question here.
Yes, go ahead.
Pag wala yung yung POI, hindi ko masyadong na-pick up yung kanina na kung wala dito, 'di ba? Pupunta ka sa OSM and i-add mo yung ganong katagalang delay, or are we looking at live data?
No, the updates happen every hour. Hindi siya live, pero regular siya at the hour. Updated yung galing from the OSM database.
Yeah.
So as soon as you add it today, not right now, so 2006, at 2106, that POI will appear on the map. But again, there are certain POIs na in OSM that is not appearing on the map because they were not considered as essential services or part of the categories that they are using. So you have to double check.
Yung other, for matagal-tagal na ako hindi lumalabas and mostly cash ang gamit ko. But if kung sana iba yung situation ko na pwede ako lumabas pero high risk kasi ako. Pabor na na nakalagay sana doon yung GCash or Paymaya. I don't know what's the situation outside. Kasi nagmamatter sa akin ng tumanggap ng change. Like, gumagamit ako ng tao para bumili sa labas. And then pagbalik dito, yung change, nilalagay ko sa isang container for disinfection. But then, kung electronic cash ang gagamitin, maybe it matters for some people to know na available yung mode of payment na yun.
That's an option that we should consider reporting. Kaso unfortunately, yung ating e-payment system sa Pilipinas are not properly documented and tagged. So wala pang ganung convention na acceptable for everyone. So right now, that's not an option. Pero tama ka, maski ako, hesitant ako about using cash whenever I go out. Kahit na bihira yun, mas preferred ko yung mga electronic payment systems. So for now, I guess, just use the text box for additional information.
Another question. Based on this drop down, for quick help lang, nasan dito yung remittance? I had this situation na tinawagan ako ng mga former employees ko. May ng tulong for help and then wala akong way to get out kasi hindi ako pwedeng pumunta sa remittance like Palawan Express and etc. Just to deposit some money to get the money there, but I used the GCash to bring the money direct to some people. Pero I don't know how we call remittance center. Paano, for the moment na kung ano yung filter natin, pwede ba tayo mag-filter by name? Sabagay, pwede naman pala, no? Come to think of it. Pwede naman.
Yeah. So ngayon,
Palawan Express.
Pinapakita ko rito sa screen ko kung ano yung mga categories na pwede natin i-filter. By default, if we don't select anything from the left panel, all the features that has been pre-selected are displayed on the map. So for example, I'm only interested in health-related POIs. So, dito sa neighborhood na to, isa lang, tatlo lang, 6 ang under sa category na yun. So, depending on your specific needs, for example, under food, I only want to see all supermarkets. So, click on food, then click on supermarkets, and then makikita mo na ito lang yung mga amenities na available. Yung tanong mo about remittance centers. So usually pawn shops din yung iba. I think right now they're under amenities. Are they? Or other places? Other shops.
kunyari, Palawan Express. Or, kasi wala tayo minsan, yung iba, agent lang ng Palawan, pero hindi yun yung name niya. But yun yung mga tinanong ko doon sa humihingi ng tulong. Anong malapit sa inyo na may Palawan ba? So, binigay niya yung name. But then, it turned out na nag-work na with an app. You can just place the money there and then they go there, palitan kayo ng information at nare-remit. But then like, nag-type ako ng Palawan and ang lumabas lang is Palawan, Philippines. Walang Palawan Express. So is it possible to look for the name of the shop?
Right now, that's one thing that I noticed na an area for improvement. Pangit ang search feature ng CRO. Even when you're trying to look for a place, you need to look for a street name or maraming butas. So they're using MapTiler sa back-end nila. So iba yung unexpected yung search results na nakikita. So what works best right now is if you are trying to improve your neighborhood and you're already familiar with it, yun yung mga nakikita mo nilang na POIs sa mapa. At doon ka mag-start ng mga improvements. So, I'm checking I don't remember the exact tag. Does anyone remember? Payment systems. Ayun. Let's check the Philippine Mapping Convention.
Yung sa experience ko, sir, minsan money transfer, minsan bureau de changer, parang gano'n.
Okay. Tama, money transfer dapat. Yung bureau de change, another French word. Ano yun? Forex, foreign exchange.
Tapos minsan merong pawnbroker, ayan, Palawan Pawn Shop kasi yung original ni Palawan.
Yeah.
Si LBC naman, since may money transfer din siya, ang pumapasok sa LBC naman sa post office. So medyo blurry yung yung ano nila specifically.
Ang dapat kasi, kung ano yung primary service ng isang POI,
yes.
Kunyari LBC, di ba, we categorize it as post office. Tapos yung, kunyari, Palawan Express na binanggit ni Rally earlier, that is usually a pawn shop or a pawn broker. So yun yung tag na nilalagay. Ang secondary tags will be the services that we're interested in. For example, yung money transfer service. Tingnan nga natin yung details ng money transfer. So dito hindi nakalagay. These are applicable for standalone establishments. Yung katulad ng sinabi ni Rally na parang franchise ba or outlet, hindi sila sanglaan.
Para silang agent lang.
Agent. So maraming mga tindahan, sari-sari store na actually pwede kang mag-encash yata. Tama ba?
Sa actual case na sa akin, so walang way. Sabi ko, GCash lang ako or Paymaya and that's about it. Hindi ako pwedeng lumabas. So, ginawa ko, diretso yata sa Palawan, not sure.
Website? Sa Bako?
Wait, hindi ko ma-recall kung yung ginawa ko. But I'm trying to figure out kasi kung naghanap kami ng paraan to get the money out and then hindi naman ako makapag-risk what if na napunta in limbo yung money and then wala naman doon sa other end na makakapag-claim because of lack of ID or simply mali yung na-execute ko na but it worked. Naglagay ako ng konting money and then my phone number and phone number ng the other one tapos yung name, complete name and address na sa valid ID doon sa kabilang side. And then nag-deposit ako and then like 2 hours later, credited na yung phone niya. Pumunta lang siya doon sa that Palawan, no specific Palawan Express agent, pinakita niya yung cellphone with the ID, and then na-claim niya yung pera. So it worked. So it actually, at the moment, dahil before the lockdown, umikot pa ako, and mahaba talaga ang pila sa mga money transfer, remittance.
Yeah.
So it matters para sa Philippine situation, I think. I don't know.
I think I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off, pero I think the best thing we could do is actually improve the tagging convention, because we know that some of these services are just one of the services offered by regular establishment, brokers or etc., or mga business centers. Parang nire-review ko ngayon yung conventions ng Pilipinas, and we haven't really documented that. Perhaps that's something that we can talk about, and then as soon as we can, we have a consensus on how it should be tagged, we can report back to CRO and say, okay, let's include this because this is important for us in the Philippines. Importante yun. Magandang na-raise yung question na yan kasi alam naman natin na konti lang naman yung porsyento ng populasyon ng Pilipinas na may mga bank accounts. Most of the people are using electronic cash through mobile phones or yung mga services na ino-offer ng mga micro-financial institutions like the pawnbrokers.
Yung kulang kasi sa tags natin is yung a store or a shop being an agent for another shop. Like, minsan competing pa nga pero in the end, a few years later, yung pala, kinikater na ng isang shop, yung isang shop. Nakalagay mo as, or minsan sari-sari store. So wala tayong masyadong subtags for agency, like yung remittance center, which is very important sa Philippines. And actually, the new normal, yung way of doing things na physically kailangan mo pang lumabas para dalin yung pera, actually, kailangan natin tulungan tong part na to. Dahil, nagmamatter. Imbes na lumalabas ka, pwede mong papuntahin yung money mo to the other side, kahit tawid dagat pa siya, yet makakatulong ka or maybe during emergencies. Pero wala tayong, kasi usually ang nilalagay nating tag, full standalone, pero yung mga business centers na nagkikater sa maraming brands, services, yun yung hindi pa natin na-address masyado. True, kailangan natin pag-usapan yan after.
May suggestion ako. I remember I don't remember if it's a channel or a mailing list. Indonesia was tagging this some months back. Last year pa yata. So if we're looking at how we could, as a community, quickly update our conventions for mapping these services, we should look at what Indonesia has done. Mamaya, after our session, I'll try to look for it and paste in the channel. But for now, yun nga, ang suggestion ko, just so we could move forward with this, let's just use the portion of the app where you can add a comment. And then as soon as we agree on a convention for tagging these services, we could update the convention pages and ask CRO to include that on the map. Kasi importante nga sa atin. Are there any more questions? Is there anyone who would like to share their screen? Wala na.
Actually, sir, kanina nag-add ako ng mga stores dito sa amin sa Rizal.
Yes.
Tapos may in-add akong new stores na nagsabi naman na open siya during the COVID lockdown. So, chinek ko dito na sa ating map, gumana naman siya.
Lumabas na siya.
Nandun. Tapos kulay green din siya since naglagay din kami ng schedule. So, mukhang mabilis naman siya, sir.
Is it less than an hour? Ang alam ko talaga, it's at least 1 hour.
Kaninang 4 ko pa kasi nalagay tapos ngayon ko lang din chinek eh. So feeling ko nasa less than an hour mga ganun.
Yan. So itong nagsasalita ay si Miko. Miko is, pwede ko bang sabihin kung taga saan ka, Miko?
Sige po, sir.
Si Miko ay taga Grab. Ang Grab ay isa sa pinakamalaking organization na gumagamit ng OpenStreetMap para sa kanilang operations. So Miko, ano ba ang status ng effort niyo sa quarantine essential maps? Are you continuing with that? Are you thinking of collaborating through this map? Ano bang, could you share anything?
Yes, sir. So, ayun nga, yung recently na mapathon na ginawa namin noong April 16, marami naman nakapaglagay ng mga banks, groceries, and saying na open sila sa lockdown. I think supplemental naman siya sa current, since people are also introduced to MapContrib, yung ating other platforms. Pero right now, I think this is okay pa naman, sir. Like,
I think the one thing you could say about MapContrib is it's, as long as you already have an OpenStreetMap account, it's easy to add other features, diba? Other POIs.
yes, sir.
At ito, limited siya. But then again, the target are people who don't use OSM or has difficulties using OSM for some reason. So iba yung target market.
Yes, sir.
Monica May would like to speak. Nawala siya. Okay. Monica? Are you trying to speak?
Hi, sir.
Hi, Monica. You have a question?
So far, wala pa naman po, sir. I'm just listening lang po.
Okay. I saw a message saying that you raised your hand and you wanted to speak. Okay. So kung wala, has everyone tried to add the information on the map in your neighborhood? I hope you've done so because we'll proceed with the next part of our webinar.
Sinecheck ko yung wiki. Meron palang dedicated tag for drive-through. So drive_through, hindi abbreviated, :COVID-19, yes or no.
Okay. So in that case, hindi pa siya na-integrate in the interface.
Mm-hmm.
Kung ako yun, I'll check the discussions in the repository. Baka someone made a PR to include that as soon as possible. Remind me, i-check ko rin sa repo later. Maski sa Telegram na lang. Okay. So, we're done with mapping with OSM. Can you guys see my screen right now? Okay. Yeah. And of course, if you're using OSM previously, you don't actually need to use sa REST. Kasi pwede mo namang i-edit ng direkta sa OpenStreetMap. Pero ang target ng contributors nito are people who are not familiar with OSM, doesn't have any background or even an account in OpenStreetMap. So what else can you do as an OpenStreetMap contributor? Of course, you can edit OSM directly, and we don't have to teach you how to do that. Sorry, let me just jump to... Okay. So what we're going to do in the next several minutes is introduce some of the tools that can be used to determine what are the information or notes that has been contributed by people who use the CRO app on the map. So ngayon, ang una natin makikita rito ay isang utility ni nagawa ni N8R. That's the username of the developer. And the objective of the app is to display all the nodes on OpenStreetMap that has a particular hashtag or was made by a particular user. So kung hindi kayo sumusunod dun sa your own copy of the deck, please use the URL displayed on the screen right now so that we can use it on the Okay, so after clicking on the link, okay, it will display all notes added on OpenStreetMap with this particular hashtag. Sa REST.ph, so unique yan sa Pilipinas, yan yung inassign na hashtag para sa Philippines. So dito, makikita natin that there are 6 notes that's been added. So, punta tayo sa familiar tayong lugar. Dahil taga San Juan ako, dito lang sa San Juan. So, let's check on one note. Ang sabi dito sa note, the POI is about Security Bank. The status is reported that it's closed. And so, itong nakikita natin na tag na ito, ang information na pwede natin idagdag manually on OpenStreetMap. Tapos may yung details, yan yung note na iniwan ng contributor. So, paano natin ito i-edit? So, we'll click on the ID link and we'll use the ID editor so that everyone can utilize the editor. Huwag na natin pasinin yung JOSM. Kung marunong na kayong mag-JOSM, it's safe to assume that you know what to do. Okay. So according to, this is the ID editor. Ito yung pinaka-popular na editor sa OpenStreetMap. At nakikita dito, itong nagbi-blink na POI sa mapa ay yung in-edit natin. So yan yung Security Bank na POI. So dito pinagdagdag na opening hours during COVID is off, which is correct. Tapos ang details na dinagdag niya, the ATM is operational 24/7. So ATM is still yes. Okay. So dito ang kulang ay, dahil familiar ako sa area, I know that this particular branch has an ATM machine outside of the bank, outside the premises of the bank. So what I can do is add a new point. So I'll click on point. Let's display our image here first. So usually ganyan, may nakikita tayong satellite image. So Security Bank, there's an ATM outside it. And then I will click on ATM. Type in ATM and add a new feature called ATM. So that means there's a standalone element that is, sabi nung nag-report, it's open 24/7. Opening hours, 24/7. And then click on check. So even before the pandemic, the ATM is already open 24/7. So there are no changes for the COVID-19 operating hours. So I'll click on check. ATM has been added. Bank is there. So meron pa mga ibang operations na sinatanong sa atin. Hindi na natin kaya i-discuss for now. But I will be adding, so the change set is a description of what you've done to the map. So sabihin ko, I added the ATM POI for Security Bank. And then click on upload. So now, on the map, there will be an element representing the ATM. And then for the notes, now I'll click on OpenStreetMap para ipakita yung note. This is it. Reporting this particular details. And I can say that ATM has been added. And then click on comment and resolve. So because this is part of the neighborhood that I'm familiar with, I know that based on personal knowledge that there is indeed an ATM there. So I'm just basically confirming what the contributor has added on the map. So nasarado na natin yung note. And so close this. And we can add, let's see, check on this other establishment. Okay, I don't understand French, so I have to translate this. So we'll just skip that and find another establishment. So for example, this one is in Megamall. Let's click on this. So sabi nila, Pet Express is open during lockdown. And then there's a comment about call to order and pick up only. Contact a phone number. So we're gonna click on the ID link again. So again, itong mga pinapakita kong options are for people who has an OpenStreetMap account. Madali lang naman mag-sign up for an account. Otherwise, you cannot edit OpenStreetMap without an OSM account. So we have here Pet Express. Ang sabi dito, the opening hours are Monday to Saturday, 9 to 5 p.m. There's delivery, but there's no... Actually, there's takeaway. But you have to call first. Okay, so we're going to copy the tags. Select, right-click, copy, and go back to the editor. So gagawin ko, kasi ready na yung tags, I'll switch to text mode. And I'll just paste the tags. So opening hours is COVID-19, Monday to Saturday. Takeaway, there is takeaway. And then I'll say, for the note, we'll add itong information na nakalagay. Call to order. Note equal to N. So if I switch back to text list mode, lahat ng information na pinaste ko na lang ay may dadagdag na sa mapa. So close. And then I will save the details. So I can say add COVID-19 operation details for upload. Okay, and then I can open the note again like I did earlier, and I can now resolve the note. Ibig sabihin, na-update ko na yung mapa, this has been fixed. And then I can click on resolve. So when I search for additional notes in the Philippines, click on search. Kapag na-update na yung database nila, mababawasan na yung number of notes available. So yan, see? So kanina meron tayong tatlo, na-resolve na. So 2 notes na lang dito sa banda Cavite. Sabi dito, KFC is open during lockdown, drive-thru is open, and these are the details that you can use. Is there a volunteer who'd like to demonstrate how to resolve a note using the details provided on this tool?
Anyway, sir, while I'm currently editing using Josom for the Genatea City,
For what?
I'm going to demonstrate on what are those tags that are needed to be used. And that maybe includes the phone number that is at the international format with the +63.
Okay. Sige. So you're going to use JOSON? May I suggest if is it possible to request that you use ID instead? So most people, especially the new ones, can easily understand it without having to use JOSON? Or you're not
Anyways,
familiar with
I'll going
ID?
to use both ID and JOSOM.
Okay. So let's start with ID first. Turn off my screen sharing. You can share your screen.
Anyways, beware of some sort of technical glitches that might occur on my part. I'll shut it off the camera and then I'll share the screen.
Yes, go ahead, please. Thank you, Paul.
The ID is currently opening. And unfortunately, there's some sort of technical problems that I might encounter.
Mukhang okay pa naman. So before you go with ID, can you show us the note first that you're trying to resolve? Are you trying to resolve a note?
I'm trying to show first the notes pero naghahang na po siya.
Okay. Sige. Mukhang gumagana naman, mabagal lang.
Nasa notes review na po.
Mhm.
Then, anyways, yan po yung mga tags na pinapakita po.
Mhm.
That all you need to do is to right-click those tags that are highlighted and then use the copy command. Or if you're familiar with those shortcut keys, Control+C, Control+Charlie, and then proceed to the OpenStreetMap. You have to scroll it down for those who are using the ID editor and then make sure that it's on the text mode, not on the list mode. Text mode could be much easier to use the copy paste.
Mhm.
Then, here's the correction that has to be made. From off all the way to the time. Though the access for the MacDo could be restricted to customers since it's not suitable for takeaway orders. Only the deliveries and the drive-through orders are allowed.
So even Grab Food or Food Panda is not offered? Because if Grab Food or Food Panda is offered, then takeaway should be yes.
In that case, Grab food is not yet available. Ang Grab food po dito sa Dasma wala pa po.
Okay. So that's something for other people to take note of kung available sa kanila yung service.
Then, the drive-thru, sandali lang. Then, yung sa drive-thru po, that's Delta Romeo India Bravo Echo _ Tango Hotel Romeo Oscar Uniform Golf Hotel. That's drive-thru. The drive-thru is equals to yes. Kahit i-add nyo pa po yung colon COVID-19 sa tag po, which is missing in here. So copy that tag, then paste and add COVID or colon COVID-19. That's colon Charlie Oscar Victor India Delta 19. Then, don't forget to review po ang mga tags. And of course, it's not necessarily na Monday to Sunday and public holidays to be add if it's occurring every day po. Then, ang kailangan nyo ho is to save those changes. Anyways, sa change set comment po, you have to disclose the location of the mapping, which it says Dasmariñas City, then the description of the edit na nangyari po to avoid some sort of accountability issues po. Then, press save or upload if you're done. Then, balik naman po sa notes review. Then, open the OpenStreetMap. portal. Then, type to source. Please make sure na na-type nyo ko siya as a resolve the POI issue, then comment and resolve. Ayun. It has to be a green check mark, which means it's solved already. Those issues that has to be explained earlier. Back to you.
Yan. Maraming salamat po for sharing how to solve nodes using the ID editor and sharing some of the practices of how you usually edit in OpenStreetMap. So, I'm sorry, I forgot to share my screen.
Anyways, before that, yung sa Joseon po, which is in General Trias City.
Sige, go ahead. Are you resolving a node for this?
Sa General Trias City po, say for example, sa Shakey's po sa General Trias City, ang nakasad po sa online portal sa Shakey's that bukas po only for take-home orders. Ang ibig sabihin po niyan, restricted to take-home orders only. So, don't forget to add the tag, which is take away COVID-19, then the value has to be only. Take away COVID-19 equals only.
Okay, so Paul, you're not resolving a node. You're just manually adding it using OpenStreetMap based on personal knowledge.
Then don't forget if available po ang phone numbers if in case na may delivery po. Which is all available from the Shakey's Pizza online portal. Kung sa provincial po, say for example sa Cavite po, +63 46 NNN NNNN, where N is the string of the numbers po. Pag sa Metro Manila po, ingat po kayo dyan. Dahil ang phone number po is +63 to PNNN NNNN, where P is the PTE ID, which is effective from 6 October 2019, and the N is the string of numbers po. Pag once na nagkamali po kayo dyan, ang mangyayari po sa receiver, magkakaroon po ng either na warning na po talaga na mag-dial ng correct number as required by the NTC, o di kaya'y The number you have dialed is incorrect po talaga. Balik po dyan sa inyo.
Okay, maraming salamat, Paul, for sharing how you can do the same thing using JOSM. If you're not familiar or you're still new in OpenStreetMap, JOSM is advanced editor for the desktop. It works on Windows, Apple, or OS X, or Linux. You get to do a lot of other things that are normally more tedious to do in ID, but basically it's the same thing. It's a tool for editing OpenStreetMap. So let me, okay. So let's go back to the webinar. I'll be showing you some of the other tools that you can use with regard to resolving nodes in on the map, especially those made for CRO. Another interesting tool that you can use is a new one made by Tankaru. Tankaru is a developer from Japan. And he's utilizing an editor for adding one moment. Naka-share ba yung screen ko? Mukhang hindi. Sorry. Okay, so I was talking about Tankaru's Notes and Mapilla Reviewer. This is a Japanese developer who developed a utility for adding notes, for reviewing notes in OpenStreetMap. It will allow you to utilize imagery contributed using Mapillary to help validate the notes that you find. So on your screen is a link in the Philippines that you can use. So i-demo ko lang. We're showing a map of Metro Manila, and then to the right is where imagery coming from Mapillary will show whenever notes are available. So let's zoom in a bit. Maghanap tayo ng mga open notes. Find OSM notes. So according to the map, there are these notes available that are open in OpenStreetMap. If, for example, we click on this one along P. Guevara, so this is basically the same. This is actually the same note we saw earlier. So as soon as you click on a note and there are imagery available nearby, it will automatically display them on the screen. So it will help you validate kung ano yung mga POIs that are actually in the area. If you're new to Mapillary, there are navigation buttons available that you can use to look at the photos. So here you can look at photos taken along this road that is near the POI. So pwede mo malaman kung nag-exist ba itong POI na to based on imagery. So why are we using Mapillary? Because imagery coming from other sources that are not compatible with the open database license of OpenStreetMap is not allowed now for us to use even as a reference. So kunyari, Google Street View, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin ang imagery ng galing sa Google para mag-validate ng anumang information on OpenStreetMap. We can only rely on the personal knowledge of contributors or sources like Mapillary or OpenStreetCam to help us validate that information. So you can use Tankaru's Notes and Mapillary Viewer. This is the link. And all you need to do once you get that link is navigate to the area you're interested in. For example, ito, Mandaluyong area. Click on Find OSM Notes. and it will display markers where notes are still open. And as soon as you click on a link, it will try to determine if there are mapillary images available in that area. So lalabas yan doon sa right panel of your screen. So that's OSM Notes Checker. I leave it to you when you want to explore more of that. But since we're almost running out of time, I'll just go to the other sources that I wanted to present for tonight. Another tool that you can use is OSM Chat or OpenStreetMap Change Set Analyzer. Okay, so wala pala akong link na nilagay dito. Ang kailangan lang natin gawin ay go to the OSM Chat website. Okay. For you to use OSM Chat, you need to have an OpenStreetMap account. So once you have an OSM account, just sign in and grant access to the app. And then what you would want to do is create a filter that is specific to the notes we're after. So in this case, you can search, for example, the user. Let's see. Let me just review my notes. I don't remember the username. Here. So this is the username that is utilized by the app. So gagawin natin ay search for Philippines. So that means we're only looking for edits that happen in the Philippines here. And then we want to specify the username that I just copied from my other tab. And this will, if we click on apply, search for all change sets that has happened in the period that I indicated earlier. So ito yung mga edits na nangyari na ginawa ni CRO based on information that you added recently. So let's check at least one of them. So according to this map, this particular user mapped somewhere in Antipolo. Let's see kung ano yung mga information na dinagdag nila. Here, from user mapbex, the initial value of the tag was closed. It's been changed to off following the tagging convention found in OpenStreetMap. So let's find another edit. Okay, sabi dito, the original edit, the last edit was made by Rally prior to CRO, and then the additional detail that has been added is that this particular establishment, Marilou's Convenience Store, is open during COVID-19. So tignan pa natin kung ano available sa mapa. So here is another convenience store that's been reported as open by CRO. Again, this was previously edited by the user Rally and has been updated by CRO in this. Okay, so that's OSM Chat. It's just a quick overview of this tool. OSM Chat is useful for monitoring changes in OpenStreetMap. It might be your favorite neighborhood, or it might be edits that you're interested in made by yourself or by a particular user. So I won't go into the details of doing that tonight, but just give you an overview of some of the tools that are available to you. And the last tool that I'm going to introduce is called Overpass Turbo. This is just a short introduction. So there are two links here that you want to use. So I'm going to use the first one. I want to query overpass for all tags in OpenStreetMap that uses a particular tag. So, papakita ko ano yan. So, anong una natin gagawin? As soon as you click on the link, you can use the map on the right panel to search for a particular area that you're interested in. So, for example, I'm interested in Marikina. If, for example, I am from Marikina. And on the left are the tags that I'm after. This line on overpass is a command to say that I want all OpenStreetMap features that has this particular tag, colon, COVID-19, and I want to display all of those elements in OpenStreetMap. So what I need to do, I'm already in the neighborhood that I'm interested in. I'll click on the Run button. So after a few seconds, the website will display, oops, so mukhang nasobrahan na ako ng paggamit ng overpass today and this is not available. So let me just launch my another browser so that we can use this exercise. So I'll just copy the link. Let me just share my screen with you guys. Okay, so on my screen now is the same interface. I'm just using a different browser. And I'm going to run the same query around Marikina. So I'll just click on run. Kung saan tayo nabitan earlier. So after a few seconds, it should display all the elements on OpenStreetMap that uses this particular tag. So dito sa mapa ngayon, may makikita tayong 14 elements, yung mga circles na yan, na gumagamit ng tag na hinarap natin. So let's click on one. So this bakery called Kabayan is somewhere in Marikina is reported to be open. No? Opening hours, COVID-19 is open. If we click on this link, it will send us back to OpenStreetMap and it will tell us additional details about that particular change. So sabi dito, it was edited 2 days ago. Of course, that was editing was done by the CRO user account. And the changes was made to add that it's open to, the bakery is open during COVID-19, but public access is not allowed. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pwedeng pumasok yung customer. I guess, nasa labas lang sila ng tindahan. So, going back to the overpass turbo query result, all of these points that you see on the map are elements on OpenStreetMap that uses the colon COVID-19 that we searched for earlier. Okay, so are there any questions so far? Okay, so far my comments, Ian, about limits. Any questions?
Nothing.
Okay, so thank you, Paul. No questions from Paul. Anyone else? So if you're interested in all the links or this particular deck that I'm using, sorry, hindi ko pa rin naka-share yung screen. So, the deck is available online. So, pwede nyo gamitin yung mga links na share ko, and you can use it whenever when you have the time to use it. If you have questions, feel free to join the Telegram channel. I usually hang out in there along with other local OpenStreetMap contributors. But I hope that you can recommend the app to people you know who may not have the technical ability to edit in OpenStreetMap directly, but would have knowledge, personal knowledge that they can share using the map, using the app. So you can use the shortcut URL is.gd/bukasparin, or use the French URL, which is sarestvet.fr. So that's all of my presentation for today. Questions or feedback is welcome. The floor is open to anyone who's interested in sharing anything.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
So, in case na may mga tawag doon, mga typos or any translation errors, how can you contribute sa effort na yun? Yung say reste over or bukas pa rin?
Yeah. If you want to contribute directly, please look for the Sarest.vert repository on GitHub. The project is open source. Translations are available from Transiflex, or you can write your own PRs directly on GitHub. So
Well, see. Thanks.
I'll look for the link so everyone can use it. I'll share it in the chat box. Are there any more questions?
Nothing.
Okay, so I'm done. I'll turn over the floor back to Eugene.
Okay, thanks, Erwin, for doing a lot of the presentations and webinars. Hopefully, our participants were able to learn something new, especially the tools used for validating and checking the edits done by the Sarest.vert tool. So yeah, I think we've done this. We've already done this. What have you done? And si Paul nag-share siya ng mga nag-share siya ng kanyang workflow for resolving notes. So, Wi-Fi, if you feel other hashtags for today, so hashtag mapatime, hashtag WeMap, and for this week, hashtag SarestOverPH. So, yeah.
Group photo ba muna?
Sige, let's have a group photo. So, can I request everybody to turn on their video? Sino mag-screenshot? Ka na ba, Erwin?
Sige, I'll take the photo. Oh, si Monica nakikita ko. Hi, Monica.
Ito po.
Ready na ba? So anyone interested in sharing their faces? Wait, may hahabol pa ba? Si Miko, humahabol pa. Oh, ayun, nagbukas pa ng ilaw. Mukhang bagong gawin si Miko.
Alam mo naman.
Yeah, long hair na ako. Okay, may hahabol pa? Wala na. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'll share the screenshot later. Okay, back to you, Eugene.
Okay, so before you go, we would like to know what you think of this week's seminar. So please do fill up this 5 minute or less survey to help us improve our webinars for the next week. So yeah, I'll paste the link here. I-feel na tong browser ko.
Sige, I'll share the link.
And finally, we would like you, if you want to ask more questions or want to connect with the community, here are some links for that you can do follow. So wiki.osm.org/ph for a list of the local channels that the OpenStreetMap communities in the Philippines use. And there's a lot of other pages on the OpenStreetMap wiki website. And for beginners, if you want to try learning on your own, there's learnosm.org. And finally, we would like to invite you to join us again next week, starting at the same time, 7:30 p.m., for our next Wednesday's Mapa Time session. Currently, we still have. I think we're doing the drone mapping part 2 session.
Yes, we are.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, if you want to learn more about drone mapping, again, we will have Lay, Bunny, and Ian to share their experiences and tips and tricks on how to do drone aerial imagery and mapping as well for next week.
Make the space bar, Eugene. I think there's a format for that for next week.
Ayan, Flight of the Drones.
So if you attended the session last week where some of our friends who contributed the imagery for Lupang Arenda, they are going to do a dedicated session just about drones next week. Walang mapping, more about sharing experiences and the tools that they use. That's for next week.
Okay. And that's it for today. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, are there any questions, or would anyone like to share anything about their particular projects?
Wala pa naman, sir. Wala.
Ayan, si Miko, ang ating masipag na OpenStreetMap volunteer who's with Grab. Okay. Miko, ano pala yung pwede pa kita tanongin dito? If Grab PH can help with resolving notes? Or
currently kasi, sir, pwede naman. Kaso, siguro kailangan pa namin ng training or mastery ng So, unti-untiin ko muna sila Grab kung paano namin to gagawin. Kasi medyo na-gets ko naman yung resolving notes and maalam naman sila. So, I think we could help naman in adding more places and yung
if you need help, Miko, we can schedule a webinar for your team.
Sige, sir. Yes, sir. Sige.
Usap tayo.
Yes po.
Open natin sa mga gusto umattend, pero primarily it's for your team. Para
may question po, sir.
Go ahead.
What if kunyari si AUB may linabas siyang list of branches na closed?
Oo.
Diba gumawa tayo ng parang Excel file dati? So, pwede ba naming i-data mine yung mga branches na halimbawa nung bank na yun na sinabi niya closed, tapos lagay namin yung tag na closed siya sa COVID lockdown?
Yeah, pwede nyo gawin yun directly. Kasi ang unang tanong, nakamapa ba lahat ng AUB banks?
I'm not sure.
Oo, yun, di ba? So kung hindi, either you can help with adding them first,
Yes, sir.
before adding the COVID-19 related tags. So we can use Overpass or ID Editor or JOSOM, etc. But the answer to your question is yes. Pwede natin directly i-edit yun using the COVID-19 tags.
Sige, sir. Feeling ko mas dun kami makaka-help, sir. Yung mga bulk na edits, lalo na with branches.
Mm-hmm. Saka maganda dyan kasi yung team nyo, marunong na mag-OSM. At I'm sure na useful din naman yung information na yun for your work.
Apa.
So everyone benefits from what you guys are doing in OpenStreetMap.
Yes po, sir.
Sige, usap tayo about scheduling. I'm ready to help you out on that.
Yan. Apo, sir.
Okay, thanks, Nico. How about, are there any more questions? Plugs? Miko, meron ka bang ito-plug? May mga upcoming events ba na I don't know about?
Ngayon, naka-hold kami sa mga community event. Yung huli natin, sir, namin yung April 16 eh.
April 16?
Yung nag-add kami ng mga banks. Ano pa ba?
Was that your birthday mapping party?
Yes, sir. Banks, pharmacies, ganyan.
Okay. Sa mga upcoming events, meron ba? May mga gusto ko bang i-announce?
Yung Hot Philippines, meron yatang event tomorrow.
That's outside the regular activity mapathon, so mapping activities. So si HOT Philippines, si Humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, may team sila sa Pilipinas. They regularly hold afternoon webinars. Nagtuturo sila about ID or JOSOM or other tools, especially because they have an ongoing project in Pampanga. But I remember dun may pinost si Sen Rojas. Post na lang ng link sa Telegram.
Meron yata sila, sir, ginagawa yung map pahil. So, they're using social media para makapag-submit yung mga tao ng mga entries to OSM.
Okay.
So, I think nakakatulong din siya dito sa ating bukas pa din.
As long as the data is in OpenStreetMap,
Yes.
Everyone benefits from it.
Yes.
Yung kagandahan nun. Whether you're using CRO, sa Restbert, or MapContrib, or some other tool, as long as OpenStreetMap is the common database, everyone will benefit from the changes and contributions.
Yes, sir. Ang alam ko po, manual sila eh. Sila yung mag-encode, tapos submit lang ng mga entries to pictures.
Maybe I should ping HOTPH about the app. Yes. Kasi kung mag-iwan na naman comments, mas magandang direkta na mag-comment yung mga tao sa mapa.
Sir. Parang yung notes, parang nakaraan ko lang naraman na pwede pala siya gawin kahit hindi ka nakalogin. So,
yeah, anonymous notes are allowed in OpenStreetMap. Dati pwede ka pa nga mag-comment as an anonymous contributor, but that's been restricted. Okay, meron pa ba?
Nasabi na ba yung so tomorrow merong mapathon or workshop yung Hot Philippines together with UP Resilience Institute to map Quezon City. So this will be from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. tomorrow.
May link ka ba, Eugene, that you can share? Or
tinyurl.com/keepmapping.
tinyurl.com/keepmapping, right?
Keepmapping.
Yun. So, thank you guys. Nag-overtime tayo ng 20 minutos, so sorry. We hope that you found the tools we presented today interesting. And we're looking forward to meeting you again next week. Next week, makikinig lang ako. Sila Ray, Bonnie, and Ian, and Rally, I think, is going to handle the presentation. Okay, we're done for tonight. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much. See
you
you
po.
next week.
Thank you. Join the Telegram if you're not yet there.
Good night, everyone. Sweet dreams. Take care and be well always. And I love you all.